Thanks for that. All right, well, let's check in with KRQE News 13 anchor Matt Mauro, who has the morning's news headlines. Hi, Matt.
Hey, Matt.
Good morning, ladies, and good morning to you at home. Hope you're having a great start on this Wednesday. Get a quick check of your headlines now. Parents, you know what I'm talking about, those big bouncy inflatable houses. They're a hit at parties, but the city says they're also a headache, and that's why you don't set them up at a number of city parks anymore. Right now, the city allows these bounce houses, or moonwalks, whatever you want to call them, in 22 parks in Albuquerque, particularly ones with a lot of open space. The city clamped down on the fun jumps in 2011 because they were actually damaging the parks.
Trucks are not allowed on the grass, and so sometimes they would be dropping them off and rolling over irrigation heads, creating a problem. Stakes were being driven into the irrigation system, so we'd get a leak in the pipe and we'd have wastewater.
That is no good. Now, on top of all that, there's noise from the inflators. There's large crowds. That caused some neighborhood groups to get upset and complain. So now, if you want to rent one of these, set it up in a city park, you do have to get a permit at least 48 hours ahead of time and pay $35 for that. Well, more than a year after a family from Colorado was devastated here in New Mexico, thankfully there is a little reason to celebrate. Eileen and Zach Smith were driving to their baby shower last June when investigators say a drunk driver caused them to get into a crash on I-25 near Las Vegas. Eileen was 7 months pregnant at the time. Doctors performed an emergency C-section to try to save the baby's life, but little Dimitri died just a minute after he was born. The couple devastated, extremely sad, but a special delivery last month has the two overjoyed. Eileen gave birth to a baby boy, Asa.
Asa was a king in the Bible who was said to be a great healer. We're really hoping for that to be true in our case.
I think they're on their way to that. The Smiths have another big event coming up, too. The court case of this man accused of causing the crash, Ramon Hernandez, set to go on trial for vehicular homicide charges in December, and the Smiths plan to be in court for the whole thing. Well, the company that owns the rental car Shuttle at the Sunport is now apologizing to a gay couple from Oregon. Ron McCoy and his partner, Chris Bowers, were in a standard parking lot back in June. The driver saw them holding hands. He ordered them to move to the back. The company's formal apology says, quote, "We sincerely apologize to Mr. Bowers and Mr. McCoy for any disrespectful treatment they received. We do not condone or tolerate discrimination of any kind." By the way, this story making headlines all across the country, and a lot of folks are saying it does not paint the best picture of New Mexico. Well, here's a bit of good news for civilian Department of Defense workers here in the land of enchantment and really all across the country. The Pentagon says it has found more money, so it's cutting the number of furlough days these workers have to take from 11 down to 6. This affects about 7,000 workers at Kirtland, Holloman, and Cannon Air Force bases and the Army's White Sands Missile Range. They started taking one unpaid day off last month, and they'll keep doing that until August 16th, but they're not out of the woods just yet. Defense budget cuts could be even worse this fall. It all depends on what Congress does with the new federal budget. And if you need a new job today, well, it could be your lucky day. There's a huge career fair at the Hotel Cascada off Carlisle near I-40 from 11 to 2. The Choice Career Fair has a number of companies, Los Alamos Medical Center, Office Depot, Sandia National Labs, and more, all hiring for a number of jobs, including some in manufacturing, sales, and administration. Take your resume, dress to impress, and best of luck. That does it. Those are your headlines on this Wednesday morning. Hope you have a great day. You get more of them every weekday morning from 4:30 to 7 over on KRQE. Nikki, Kristen, we'll send it back to you. Ladies, have
Thanks,
a wonderful
Matt.
morning.
You too.
Thanks, Matt.